Trailblazers, welcome back to another video. My name is Duriana, aka UGLYYY, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Hey guys, I know I was supposed to upload this video yesterday, Wednesday. There was a lot going on. Like I told you guys in my last video, there's been a lot going on with me personally. There's been a lot of stuff going on at home with family, etc. So I've really been in the focus of trying to get all of that together and situated so I can be more comfortable, more motivated and relaxed to actually sit down and make these videos for you guys. So I did gain another subscriber. We gained another subscriber. So hey girl, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I will be getting back on track, guys, with making content on this channel, bringing content on this channel for you guys. I will be definitely getting back into the swing of things, and there will be a video being uploaded tomorrow. So don't think just because I uploaded this video late that means tomorrow's video is going to be uploaded late or anything like that, because that's going to be uploaded tomorrow like I said it would be. So stay tuned for that, guys. If you read the title, then you would know that this is going to be our part 3 finale to the time that I got arrested. When I say the part 3 finale, I don't mean like this is going to be the end of the story times about the time that I got arrested, because honestly, it's not. There's like so much more like in-depth like details and like scenarios or situations that occurred during the time that I got arrested that will be in other story times. I might even do just a whole story time series about the time that I got arrested, because like I said, it's just so much. But this is going to be the finale that involves Samantha, if that makes sense to you guys. So this is going to be story time, the time I got arrested, part 3 finale. And it's only going to be the finale involving Samantha. Keep that in mind. Remember, I told you guys that. I'm not going to, too much ramble on. If anything, I'm just gonna go ahead, guys, and get straight on into the video. So to get right into the video, guys, if you didn't watch the last video of the time that I got arrested, part 2, or if you didn't, probably need a little memory refresh, I'm going to insert a little clip from where we left off at now. I'm a mess. I may not be crying yet, but I'm a mess. Gets me in the car, closes the door. The lady leads Samantha to another cop car, puts her in the back of the cop car, and pulls off. And the male officer who, is driving the car that I'm in, he pulls off right behind her. We don't get to speak to Samantha's grandmother. We don't get to let her know what happened, at least not in that moment. She don't even know. We just got put in handcuffs and put in police cars and taken away. She don't know. She's still oblivious. She's still parked out in a parking lot somewhere, waiting on us to come back out, probably wondering what the fuck is taking so long. And we long gone. In all actuality, I do truly, honestly, genuinely believe even if we still were going to end up getting arrested and brought in, they still should have informed or at least led us to Samantha's grandmother to let her know what was going on, because anything could have happened. And like I said, she wasn't aware of shit until after the fact, until after we were already at the police station. Okay, guys, so that was where we left off at, and this is where we're about to pick up at. So we were on our way to the police station. I was in the police car with the male officer. Like I said, Samantha was in the police car with the female officer. And we were making our way to the police station. Me and the male officer, we were going back and forth pretty much the whole ride from Walmart to the police station. So me and him were doing a lot of bickering. We were going back and forth. It was mainly me because, guys, like I told you, my actions don't necessarily portray my emotions. So like, again, I could be sad, I can be scared, all of those things, nervous, and then I can just turn around and like lash out. And then you're just gonna be like, what the fuck? Wasn't you just sad? Yeah, well. So me and that male officer, we were just going back and forth, bickering back and forth. He kept really honestly telling me to shut up and stop speaking to him. But no, first of all, like, you're the only company that I have right now. Like, if you wouldn't have arrested me, we wouldn't be in this situation where you would have to keep telling me to shut the fuck up. And I wouldn't be in a situation where I would have, you know, feel the need that I can't shut the fuck up. I don't know, guys, but he shouldn't have arrested me. That's just really how I was feeling.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because of it, and since I was being arrested, and then they were like being dicks on top of it, I definitely felt like I had to be like somewhat of a little bitch. So that's how I was. Like I said, my actions don't necessarily portray how I was feeling, because deep down inside I was truly, honestly scared to be making my way to this police station, actually knowing that
I'm getting arrested.
like I'm supposed to be at home by now already, probably eating dinner, and instead I'm on my way to a police station because I done got myself into some bullshit. Me and this male officer were just bickering back and forth pretty much the entire car ride, and the car ride took like a good, I want to say like
Okay.
20-25 minutes, maybe 30, and we were at the police station. So when we get to the police station, the male officer, obviously he gets me out of the back seat, because if anybody has ever seen a police car, been in a police car, or just know anything about a police car, then you would know that the police cars, their car doors, well, at least the back ones, you know, where they got barred and, you know, caged in the back seat of the car, you know that those doors at least only open from the outside. He comes to the back of the police car, he gets me out, he walks me into the police station. I noticed that the female officer and Samantha are already there, and they're like a few feet ahead of us walking into the police station as well. When we get into the police station, they walk us over to like, the police station was pretty small, something like you would probably see on a movie, but the police station was pretty small. And then they walked us to this little area that was pretty much like 10 feet away from where, you know, we entered the police station. And there were a couple of benches, and they sat us down on these benches, and on the benches were like these handcuffs that were connected to them. So they handcuffed our hands down, they handcuffed our ankles even, yep, they handcuffed our ankles, and then they walked away. We were by ourselves. Like literally there was no one in sight at all. So it was just giving me ideas because, like, guys, I watch too many movies, action movies to be specifically. I love action movies. So it was just like, I probably knew like a little trick or two to get myself out of that situation. I would have honestly just ended up being a fugitive had I proceeded to go with, you know, those ideas. So we were handcuffed to the benches, and the police officers, one that at least dropped us off, I think they left back out, and we were left with the officers that were at the police station. I'm not sure, honestly. They probably were there, but I don't remember seeing their faces, honestly, until it was time for us to go to the Justice Center. So as we were sitting there on the benches, she was still, you know, sniffling and crying. Her face was red, eyes were puffy. Me, I didn't cry just yet. I was really honestly still building it up, because of course eventually it was going to happen. I'm an emotional bitch. I'm a emotional gangster ass bitch, period.
Okay.
As we're sitting there, she's sniffling and she's crying. My face is just stoic, and I'm just in my head thinking about, what the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to tell my mother, who's probably wondering at this very moment, where the fuck are you? I notice as we're sitting there, and I'm just sitting there, and I notice that the handcuffs don't feel as tight as they were when I originally got cuffed back at Walmart, because they put the motherfucking handcuffs on me pretty darn tight. I noticed that the handcuffs were not as tight on me as they were when I first, you know, got handcuffed back at Walmart. So I looked down and I noticed that there's like this little space between the cuff and my wrist. So I'm like, these ideas that, you know, I'm manifesting, they might come to fruition, you know what I'm saying? I look at Samantha and I'm like,
Dude, look at this shit. My hand can come out.
And I showed her. I mean, I honestly didn't know if my wrist really would come out of the handcuff. I just noticed that there was a space and a gap, and the shits just wasn't as tight as they, you know, first was when, like I said, I first got handcuffed. I just slipped my hand out, and it literally just slipped on out, just like that. As if the police officers were probably like testing me to see if I would escape and if I would run. That's just how I'm seeing it right now in this moment. Looking back at it, they probably was trying to set me up, probably, you know, give them a reason to probably charge me with other things besides what we were originally getting arrested for. That's just how I'm thinking about it now, looking back at it. But before, in that moment, I was just like,
oh shit, I'm Superman.
I got out these goddamn handcuffs. I could make a run for it. The door is literally 10 feet away. I could just bust that bitch wide open. I already seen what it looked like when we came through this motherfucker, so I could just be gone. That's how I was feeling in that moment. And again, like I said, there was no police officers around. I guess they said these are the two little ass girls
Who ain't about nothing.
besides thieving. We just gonna leave their ass alone until it's time for them to, you know, till it's time for us to do what we gotta do. She was like,
Oh my god.
and then she started tugging at hers and realized, you know, hers was pretty, you know, bound tight to her wrist, even her ankle. And then after I looked down at her ankle, I realized,
Oh shit.
and I looked down at my ankle.
Oh shit.
I'm still handcuffed, but I'm cuffed by my ankle to the bench. And that cuff, that was on there pretty tight. Don't know how I ain't peep it at first. I guess the adrenaline from knowing that, you know, my hand could easily just, you know, get out of these handcuffs was enough to, you know, probably like, you know, rile me up and get me going. So once I realized that my ankle was still cuffed to the bench, I'm like, okay, just my luck. Literally just my luck. And I slipped my hand back in the handcuffs. Yep. Because, you know, think about it. Had my ankle not been bound to those handcuffs in the bench, and I was still in that position where I can get my hand out of the handcuffs, I probably would have been a fugitive, because I probably more than likely would have ran because of the adrenaline running through me, you know, just, and then on top of it, me just not wanting to be in that situation and in that predicament, even though, you know, it was me, it was us who put ourselves in that situation. So I don't know, I was just thinking like a criminal, because I guess in that moment I felt like a criminal. So I just honestly slipped my hand back in the handcuff, and this time I tightened it for them. I didn't give them the chance to have to come back in there and check on us and notice that my handcuffs were either off or just not, you know, tightened enough. And then they probably would have OD'd with tightening on my wrists. Again, another story time in regards to the time that I got arrested with Samantha, but it's not going to be with Samantha, and you'll see why. So I didn't want to risk and run the chance that they would come back in and see that my hands weren't in the handcuffs anymore, or they would have tried to probably do like a little check or something randomly and notice that my hands were, you know, loose inside the handcuffs. So I just did them the favor and put my hand back in the handcuff and tightened it. Obviously not too tight, but I definitely tightened it enough to where this time my hands ain't coming back out of these handcuffs. I know y'all probably like, bitch, are you dumb? Maybe. Anyways, because if I wasn't, I probably wouldn't have got myself into that situation. So I'm gonna just say maybe. I want to say about, we was sitting there for like a good hour maybe, me and Samantha just really talking about like how we got ourselves into this situation and how we're gonna get ourselves out of this situation. We were kind of like rehearsing what we were gonna tell our parents. She was gonna tell her grandmother, what I was gonna tell my mom, and you know, all of this other shit. Like we were just thinking like, when are we going to go to court and, you know, see a judge? Like, are we gonna be released? Because like, we're still young, we're still minors. So like I said, I just turned 16 3 days prior to this event taking place. So we were still minors. Even if I did turn 16, again, we were still minors. We weren't 18, we weren't 21, we were still minors. So I felt like we were just gonna go home. I wouldn't say scot-free, but I was hoping. Anyways, so after about, I want to say about an hour of us just sitting there, handcuffed and ankle cuffed to the bench, an officer finally came over. He uncuffed me since I was sitting closer to the exit, and whatever you want to call it, sitting on the near end of the bench. So when they first come in, I'm right there. They uncuffed my ankles, uncuffed the handcuff from the bench, and then cuffed them in front of me. They cuffed both my hands in front of me, so I was able to still, you know, do what I had to do, which is what I'm about to tell you. So they came over, uncuffed my ankle, uncuffed the handcuff from the bench, cuffed both my hands in front of me, and then they brought me over to a desk, and they were like, you can make a phone call to your legal guardian, let them know what's going on, and that we're going to be taking you down to the Justice Center. I was so excited when they told me that I can finally call my mom. Like, I was excited, but I was scared as hell because I felt like this lady was about to just chew my head off because, like I said, I was already supposed to be on my way home at this point. At this point, I was probably supposed to already been off the bus, walking to the house. So you can only imagine how my mom was probably like thinking and feeling when she got that phone call. I called my mom. This is the point where the waterworks started to happen. Now I'm crying because even before she even picks up the phone, as soon as I hear the dial going, I'm just like fearing for the worst. And then on top of it, I just didn't want to be arrested, like, at all.
Who wants to be arrested?
Not even a criminal. An actual criminal wants to be arrested. So what the fuck makes you think I wanted to be arrested? Like, you know what I'm saying? So she finally picks up after a couple of rings. She's like, hello. She didn't seem like she noticed that I was gone or I was gone for too long. So it doesn't even seem like she was probably like, you know, calling or texting my phone, trying to, you know, check up on me or anything like that. So clearly I wasn't too late, you know, making my way home. She knew the routine and the schedule. So she was probably thinking like, again, she's on her way home. So when she hears my voice on the other end and I'm like, hey mom, my voice cracked. Like, it just cracked. And that's when the waterworks started. That's when the waterworks started happening. And yeah, I was actually like a hot blabbering mess when she answered the phone. At this point, she got hysterical and she's just like,
Dariana, what are you doing? Why are you calling me off of this number? Ain't you supposed to be making your way home right now?
I'm like sniffling and crying still, barely able to open my mouth and explain to her what's going on because, like I said, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm hurting, I don't want to be here. Like, at this point, I should say fuck Walmart and just enjoy that motherfucking bus ride home. Seriously. I'm like,
I just got arrested.
still sniffling, still crying. She was like,
What the fuck? Dariana, you're supposed to be on your way home. Why are you getting arrested? What did you do? Ah.
going in. She went in on me for like a good couple minutes, and then she finally calmed down because, like I said, I was still sniffling and crying on the other end. Like, I was taking it all in. Like, this is as real as it's gonna get for me. I'm about to go to jail. I might as well hear my mom's voice now while she's just yelling and cussing me on out because I deserve it. Simple. I explained to her, like, I went to Walmart with Samantha and we got arrested for stealing. She was like,
You were stealing? You don't even know how to steal. What were you stealing for?
like, yeah, like I said, she was coming in on me. And she was right. I didn't know how to steal, hence why we more than likely got caught. I don't know how to steal. I don't know what I thought I was doing in somebody's establishment trying to steal. Like, guys, stealing ain't cool. It just ain't. It just ain't. People work hard for their things. People work hard for their money. Who do we think we are taking advantage of that? Like, fucking with their shit. Who? Me and my mom were on the phone for like a good 7-8 minutes. It was some of her cussing me out, and then the other part of her was, you know, sympathizing with me. You know, she was sniffling a little bit too on the phone. Don't know if she was like probably like full on crying, but she was definitely sniffling on the phone because me, out of all people, probably would have been the last person she thought would be getting arrested. Like, out of me and my little sister, we would have thought it would have been my little sister. Just saying. Sis, if you're watching this, you know it's true. But yeah, so she really didn't probably think that it would be me getting arrested, like, ever. Like, I was supposed to be like this little goody two shoes. Like I said, more story times to come because this little goody two shoes, some people thought that I was not. We're gonna keep it real. Like I said, this is a raw, uncut channel and it's a judge-free zone. So we're gonna keep it real on this channel. So, like, a lot of people thought I was like, not when I was younger, of course, because there was so many story times that I got from like relatives and friends of relatives who were telling me that they knew me since I was a kid, and I was just horrible.
I was just this horrible kid.
Wow. Anyways, that's so off topic, but yeah, she just thought I was like this just goody two shoes that was just gonna, you know, strive in life. Not saying that I'm not striving in life, but in that particular moment was one of my many downfalls in life. And it was just horrible experience. So anyways, let's move on, guys, because like I said, I'm not really trying to make this video too damn long because then it's going to probably turn into a part 4 and I might have to change the title. So after I got off the phone with my mom and let her explain to her what was going on, she informed me to make sure I called her as soon as I got to the Justice Center, because my mom has been to jail, guys. We ain't, like I said, we ain't gonna lie. We ain't gonna lie about shit. My mom has been to jail before multiple times, so she knows the routine. And then, you know, I got older brothers on both my mom and dad's side. They all been to jail. It's a lot. It was just probably bound to happen. It was a cycle that I am now going to break.
I ain't going back to jail no more.
Tell you that now. Especially now that I got a kid. The only time that I will do some time behind them bars is over my kid. And that's period. After I finished getting off the phone with my mom and she informed me to call her, when I got to the Justice Center, I got off the phone still sniffling and crying at this point, because, you know, just speaking to my mom and just hearing my mom's voice really touched my heart, and it made me realize how bad of a decision I made and how much I honestly regret the choices that we made. Because every time I leave the house, my mama always tells me make good choices and right decisions, and that was just definitely one of the times where I did not make any good choices or any right decisions. I was not thinking rationally at all. So after that, Samantha had her turn to get on the phone and speak to, you know, her grandmother, or, you know, whoever she was calling, but it was more than likely going to be her grandmother. So after she got off the phone, we were back handcuffed again.
Well, we already, you know, we're still handcuffed, but
we got taken by the cops, the ones who originally arrested us, and got brought back out to the police cars. And we were informed that we were going to be on our way to the Justice Center. The Justice Center is back in Syracuse, downtown Syracuse. If anybody knows what that is, then you obviously know what I'm talking about. But if not, Google it. I might even just throw a little picture in just to let you guys know, you know, what it is. So yeah, so we made our way to the Justice Center, and that only took about 30 minutes or so to get there. When we got there, we had to go into like this like little underground tunnel type thing where like a little bit of the police cars were in, I guess, where they come to drop off potential inmates, pretty much. And outside of them, before you can actually enter, there's like, it's like a two-step process before you can actually enter the Justice Center from, I guess, a criminal's perspective. And it's like an underground garage, I guess you could say. Yep, basically what it was. It was an underground garage. And then the first step was you had to be inside of these cages. So me and Samantha were put inside of these cages, like literally they were human cages. It's really just gonna get. And we were in there for about a good 10-15 minutes or so, just waiting for them to finish doing their little check-in process that they had to do. And then there was a couple of other potential inmates who were getting ready to get checked in themselves, so they had to finish up their, you know, check-in procedure before we can get checked in. So like I said, about 10-15 minutes went by, and then Samantha got checked in first, and I got checked in after her. So as I'm getting out, after the first part, which was us being inside of these fucking human cages, we move on to the second part, and that was the, you know, metal detectors, you know, getting patted down, you know, getting your items confiscated, and, you know, all of that stuff. So I get in there, guys, and if I can find a picture, I will insert it so you guys know exactly how it was looking. I was looking busted up around this time. Like, I was going through my stages of, you know, finding myself and figuring out what I liked, what I like to wear, you know, my style, you know, all different sorts of kinds of things. So I'm definitely gonna find that picture and insert it into this video so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about and how I looked. I had this bun in my hair. It was a fake bun, guys. Girl, your girl been bald-headed all her life. Okay, maybe not all her life, but a good majority. So I was wearing this fake bun. You know how we do. We got the little shy bang going on.
Not the bang, the bang. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no, not the bang, bitch. That shit ain't it, bitch. That shit is ugly as the fuck. Take it out, bitch. I don't like the front of shit. Don't like the front of shit. Take it out. That bang ain't it, bitch. Not the bang, the bang.
And then I had like, you know, little cute fake buns over it, you know, put the, y'all know what I'm talking about.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Like I said, if I find a picture, I'm gonna insert it. I went through the metal detectors. Obviously the metal detectors went off because if you know, when you have these fake buns in, you need to like hold them down with bobby pins. Bobby pins are metal, so they're gonna go off in the metal detector. Went through the metal detector. They had me take off my shoes. Took off my jacket, go through my pockets. They took my phone, of course. They took my earrings. I think I had on like a necklace, maybe bracelets, one of the two. But I did have some type of jewelry on me other than my earrings. My belly button piercing. I did have my belly button pierced. They took my belly button piercing, so that was gone. It got to the point where they were like, go through the metal detector again. So I went through the metal detector again. That's when, you know, I went off again, and they're like, do you have like bobby pins or something in your hair? Like, they were the first ones to call it out and point it out. Don't know if they knew it was a fake bun or not, but they were just like, do you have like clips in your hair, bobby pins in your hair or something? I'm like,
Oh, shit.
I just remembered I got a fake bun in my hair. So I'm like, yes, actually I do. They were like, yeah, we're gonna need you to take those out. So, you know, I was sitting down on this little seat. They had it like attached to the wall, so it was like coming out of the wall, and it was like this, like literally just like this. This is the wall, and here's the seat, and it was coming out just like this. That's it, a metal little seat, just like that. No legs, no nothing. It was just like this. This is the wall, and this was the seat that was coming out of the wall. That's what I was sitting in. That's all they had in there for us to sit in. I started taking the bobby pins out of my hair. I was feeling my, you know, skin getting hot because I was, you know, getting nervous. I was on the verge of being embarrassed because, like I said, your girl,
She was trying to have like a little pigtail up under that bun.
I just wasn't cutting it. I finally got all the bobby pins out of my hair, and it was a lot. It was a lot because I didn't want my bun to go nowhere.
Nowhere.
I took out all of the bobby pins, and then the bun, you know, of course, finally fell out. All you seen was my little ponytail sticking up at the top of my head. Alpha style. Don't laugh. I'm telling y'all not to laugh, but listen. Soon as that motherfucking fake bun dropped from out of my head, them police officers hit the motherfucking floor laughing at my ass. Like I mean, face turning beet red, tears in the corner of their eyes, cracking the fuck up laughing at me. Bro, don't play with me. Don't even disrespect me like that. Don't even disrespect me like that, dog.
You want some shit.
Don't do that to me, dog.
You want some shit, you hear me?
You're not gonna keep talking to me like that, dog.
You want some shit, Patch?
I don't even know you, dog.
So what you trying to do?
Yeah, they were just like laughing at me hysterically, and it just started to piss me off because, like, what the fuck is so funny? And that's what I asked them because, like I said, I started getting pissed off because I don't like to be embarrassed. I don't like for people to laugh at me. This is probably why many of my fights have happened because, again, I don't like to be embarrassed. I don't like to be laughed at. I don't like to be made fun of. Like I said, I was bullied pretty much all my life growing up, and I don't play that shit. Like, when it comes to stuff like that, I don't play that shit. I don't. So definitely was getting in my feelings about that. Definitely was getting upset about that. So I was quick to say, what the fuck is y'all laughing for? The fuck? And one of the male officers, because it was like 2 or 3 male officers and then 1 female officers, and none of these officers were the officers that arrested me and Samantha back at Walmart. These were all officers that worked at the Justice Center, or, you know, was making drop-offs at the Justice Center, you know, all that. Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 male officers and 1 female officer. I think the female officer, she might have snickered once or twice, but she wasn't full on hysterically laughing like these dickheads were. So I'm just like, what the fuck are y'all laughing for, the fuck? And then one of the male officer goes,
that wasn't your real hair?
you really trying to be funny right now? Like, I'm already in a situation that I really can't get myself out of, and I'm pissed about that. But now you're just pissing me off even more because you're really trying to be funny, and you know I can't do nothing. Like, on top of that, I was definitely a fucking hothead. You coming to me on this type of timing ain't sitting right with me. So I feel myself getting heated. I feel my blood boiling. I'm ready to lash out. So he's just like, that's not your real hair. Does it look like it was my real hair? If it was my real hair, it wouldn't have fell out when I took out those bobby pins. It wouldn't be sitting there on the floor right now looking like a, you know, fucking hairball that a cat just spit out their goddamn mouth had it been my real hair.
Okay.
You're really trying to be funny. You playing with me. You playing with me. So I'm like, stop trying to be funny, because you know that's not my real hair, or it wouldn't be sitting there right now on the floor. It would still be on my head. Why are you being funny? He was like,
I'm not being funny. I thought that was really your real hair. It just took me by surprise.
I'm not trying to put no stereotypes on anybody. I'm not trying to, like, you know, like I said, I'm just not trying to stereotype anybody or, you know, any race or gender or anything like that. But for one, you know, females, black females especially, like to wear their weaves. Whether they got hair or no hair, they like to wear their weaves. I'm one of them females who like to wear their weaves. And yes, it was probably mainly so because I had little hair. So what? After that happened, it pissed me off even more. They were dead ass pretty much still laughing at me the whole time I was, you know, doing my check-in process. So after I finally got through the process of the metal detectors, we made it inside the actual justice center, where you were pretty much being held until it was time to either go to court or to your cell.